I have a problem if we don't.
Yeah.
Like, just because Trump thought of it, I'm not against it. Something that would stop the increasing number of rogue missiles that are in this world from maybe coming over here and incinerating me. Yeah, mark me down as a pro for that. I'm pro having, now, can we do it? I don't know. And the ballroom, I don't give a shit. I really don't give a shit. I was reading, it shows you like how the media is. Everything is always on one side or the other. When he's first mentioned it, it was like all about, oh my God, he's desecrating the White House. Then I finally read, oh, well, you know, they've done to the White House before. It's just a build.
Bill Maher and Bill O'Reilly just teamed up to break down a political earthquake. The massive migration from deep blue strongholds to red states. The numbers coming in for 2026 are nothing short of a wake-up call. We're witnessing a demographic shift that many experts thought was impossible just a decade ago. Stay tuned as these two heavyweights dissect exactly why even lifelong liberals are packing their bags and how the political map is being redrawn in real time. Let's get into it.
Trump wants to build a new missile defense system called the Golden Dome. Ah, yes, I read about this. That could cost hundreds of billions of dollars. Is that a good use of money?
Well, I mean, look, he's building, he wants to build an arch on the mall. You know, he's building a place he can dance at the White House and do the YMCA. He's going to do that there. And he wants to build a dome. I mean,
you got to protect the dance hall.
True. By the way, I'm very excited. I'm very excited. You know, when the Democrats take the White House in 28, when we have the ballroom. You know, the Pride Month in February is going to be great in that ball.
You've likely seen the media firestorm over the new permanent White House ballroom. For some, it's a point of ridicule. For others, it's seen as a controversial overhaul of a historic landmark. Representative Jared Moskowitz even went viral with a joke about it being a stage for the YMCA dance. But Bill Maher isn't biting. He argues that the obsession over a renovation project is a distraction from the real issues. Maher's take is a sharp reminder of the outrage fatigue, hitting many moderates who feel the constant focus on stylistic choices is overshadowing substantive policy debate. His response is classic Maher, biting, logical, and aimed straight at the performative nature of modern politics.
I have a problem if we don't.
Yeah.
Like, just because Trump thought of it, I'm not against it. Something that would stop the increasing number of rogue missiles that are in this world from maybe coming over here and incinerating me. Yeah, mark me down as a pro for that. I'm pro having, now, can we do it? I don't know. You know, I read, you know, he says it'll take 3 years and 180 billion, and they say, well, that's it's going to take 10. Whatever it is. Of course, everything is over scheduled and it never comes in on time or on budget.
Maher didn't stop there. He called out what he sees as reflexive opposition. He argued that political discourse has become so polarized that if one side claims the sky is blue, the other feels obligated to call it green. He cited the Golden Dome missile defense proposal as a prime example, noting that instead of debating its strategic merit, many dismissed it simply because of the name attached to it. By the time he pivoted to the ballroom drama, his point was clear. When political obsession replaces common sense, the public loses.
That's, to me, a worthy thing. And the ballroom, I don't give. I really don't give. I was reading, it shows you like how the media is. Everything is always on one side or the other. When he's first mentioned it, it was like all about, oh my God, he's desecrating the White House. Then I finally read, oh, well, you know, they've done to the White House before. It's just a building, I think. Also, like, I realized after reading other people, we don't have a place when they have state dinners. They're doing it in a tent. This is America. So do I give it that he's doing this to the White House? I really...
Let's look at the actual math because the data tells a compelling story. Hosting state dinners in temporary tents isn't just a logistical headache. It's a financial drain. During the Obama era, a single night's rental for these massive structures could top $1 million. By contrast, while the current $400 million price tag for the new 90,000 square foot ballroom has sparked debate, proponents argue it's a long-term investment that eliminates recurring rental and setup fees. Maher's point is that while the upfront cost is staggering, the logic of permanent infrastructure often makes more fiscal sense than repeating a $1 million per night temporary expense for decades to come.
Look, he raised the money privately.
Yeah, and it's private money.
You know, and if Newsom wants to knock it down when he's president, then he can knock it down, right?
Save your ire for the things that matter.
That's right.
You
But
know,
they don't know
people,
what matters.
Well,
You know as well as I do
I don't give a shit.
that the media is not in the business any longer of reporting what matters. It's not. They make their money either hating or loving Donald Trump.
Yeah.
That's where the cash register is. What matters doesn't matter to them.
Bill O'Reilly took the critique a step further, focusing on the media's role in this division. The statistics are grim. According to 2025 Gallup data, trust in mass media has plummeted to a record low of 28%. Among Republicans, that trust is a staggering 8%. O'Reilly argues that the current media model is addicted to rage bait because outrage drives clicks, and clicks drive revenue. In this environment, nuanced truth often takes a backseat to whatever headline will generate the most heat. This cycle of emotional manipulation is exactly why a majority of Americans now report feeling disconnected from mainstream news.
Do you think that Mamdani's election will lead more financial organizations to leave New York City for Wall Street South in Florida? Tell me, I've read that term just recently, Wall Street South, Florida. This is your state. What is that?
A lot of Wall Street guys have moved to Palm Beach. It's been happening really since COVID. It's accelerated with increases in taxes. It's not just out of New York. It's New Jersey, Connecticut, it's Chicago, it's California.
So they're fleeing high tax blue states for
Look,
Florida. And
this is the luckiest guy in the world that Mamdani got elected because his district is going to explode. My house, I live 8 miles outside of Queens, has gone up 20% in value since Mamdani announced. Okay?
Because
people aren't going to pay the punishing taxes. New York is the highest tax state in the union.
But you said your house value has gone up.
Yeah, because they're moving to Nassau County.
Oh, they're moving out of the city.
Out of the city, and they can still take the train back in the city and not pay the millionaire's tax or whatever crazy thing this guy wants.
Now that the latest municipal elections are over, the era of campaign promises is ending and the era of results is beginning. For leaders like Mayor Mamdani, the honeymoon phase is over. His performance will be the ultimate litmus test for his Progressive Plus platform. If he leans too far into experimental socialist policies, he risks a massive backlash from the middle. According to recent 2024 to 2025 voting data, the Democratic Party has seen a shift where Trump gained 15% of the black vote and reached 48% support among Hispanic voters. This means the blue base is no longer a monolith. If new leadership fails to deliver on crime and the economy, they aren't just losing an election. They're losing a generation of voters.
What people don't understand is he can't raise the taxes unless the state okays it, and the state is not going to okay it. So this is just smoke and mirrors. And the younger people who voted for him, they don't understand that. They don't know what seizing the means of production is, but Ken Griffin does. He's the big Wall Street titan. He knows what it is, and that's why he's down in Palm Beach.
We'll see if they move. I mean, you saw Bill.
They're going to move.
Well, look,
they're already moving.
Hold on, Bill Ackman threatened.
No, they're not.
Hold on.
People say they're going to move all the time after elections.
Listen,
they don't do it.
Bill Ackman said he was going to move.
You know how many people moved out of New York City in the last 3 years? 600,000.
O'Reilly is sounding the alarm on a New York exodus. He points to the risk of wealth flight if aggressive redistribution measures are implemented. It's an economic reality. Capital is mobile. We saw this in California, which led the nation in outbound migration in 2025. People don't wait for a financial crisis to happen. They move their families and businesses to states like Florida or Texas, which consistently rank as top destinations for in-migration. If New York's tax base shrinks while its spending grows, the resulting fiscal cliff could take decades to climb back from.
People move in America, and you're right.
No, but they're not moving because they want a better view. They like to keep more of their money that they earn.
Yeah, that's true.
Look, Florida is a really good case study. So when DeSantis became governor, there were 250,000 more registered Democrats in Florida when he became governor 8 years ago. Now there's 1.4 million more registered Republicans in Florida. That's all migration from COVID and re-registration from COVID, 100%. Right. So it absolutely is happening. Whether they will abandon New York in droves, I mean, Bill Ackman's a really good example. He said he was going to leave, right? He's been going after Mamdani. He spent a lot of money on him. And then the day Mamdani won, he said, I'm willing to talk and sit down and work with you. That doesn't sound like he's packing his bags.
Well, it's not everybody. But look, if you're a person in New York City earning $150,000, okay, that's a lot of money for most people in the United States. That's nothing in New York City. $150K doesn't get you very much. Right. It gets you In-N-Out Burger.
The truth is, the pandemic excuse for moving has expired. It's been 5 years, and the current migration patterns are driven by the wallet, not a virus. When high taxes and suffocating bureaucracy make it impossible for a small business to survive, they take their jobs elsewhere. New York and California are currently at a crossroads. They can either recalibrate to keep their residents or continue down a path that sees thousands of taxpayers leaving for the Sun Belt every single month.
The working people at a certain level are going to say, I'm going to the congressman's state because there's no state tax there. There's no local tax there. I get to keep more of my money. This isn't complicated.
Well, I I've looked at moving because I'd like to keep more of my money too. And
where should Maher move?
I'm not moving anywhere. I'm not moving anywhere. No.
Not going to stay?
And the taxes here are ridiculous, but it's still Southern California.
This raises a fascinating question. If Bill Maher, a vocal critic of California's red tape, were to leave, where would he go? He's been a loud voice against the state's 13.3% top marginal tax rate and the quicksand of permit delays. The ideal state for someone in his position would need to offer creative freedom without the administrative chokehold. Would it be a no-income tax state like Nevada, or a booming tech hub like Austin? Drop your picks in the comments. This is a debate that's happening in living rooms all across the West Coast.
Do you think Vance or Rubio has a better chance at winning in 2028? Well, they got to wrestle the nomination away from Trump, which is probably not going to happen. Well, I mean, who knows?
It's a totally different country.
What?
In 2028 than it is now. Totally different country next year. These nitwits on television, this is a harbinger of the midterms. You know how many things are going to change in the next 12 months?
Democrats are going to kill in the midterms for the same reason they killed this week. Democrats are going to wipe.
Depends. It depends. It depends if the prices come down.
Well, it's not just the prices.
Oh,
it's just,
that's the big one.
it's the perception that the people who get into power are always drunk with power. This administration's also just drunk.
Finally, O'Reilly offered a much-needed dose of perspective regarding the 2028 speculation. While Maher is already sounding the alarm about the next transition of power, O'Reilly notes that we are only 1 year into the current administration. In politics, 12 months is an eternity. Momentum shifts, new leaders emerge, and the unforeseen always happens. Obsessing over a hypothetical 4 years away ignores the reality of how fast the political landscape moves. For now, the focus should be on performance, not predictions. Thanks for joining us for this breakdown. If you found these insights helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives. We'll see you in the next one.